The first time shotgunning with a Kraken on the fucking podcast.
You're slower with it.
I know I am. It's because
But,
it's a smaller hole.
well, that's why you got to make the big holes. Welcome back to another episode of Two Drunk Guys on a Football Podcast. I'm your host, Skinny Domestic.
And Marcus the Hammer Mary.
This week is a different format. We finally have decided to start doing virtual. Needed to adjust to some of our life things. I guess life just makes it easier. The virtual gives us a chance to film a little, either a day later, whatever, more convenient, I guess.
Yep.
So just start expecting to see virtual more often. We'll still do in person and all that stuff. And if you're a future guest, might do virtual with you over being in person. Just makes it easier. With that, good old quarter one previous news. We had a lot of shit go on, especially in the NFL
A
world.
lot.
First off, before we even get into college football, did you watch any this week?
I did. I watched the Hawkeyes game. I actually had 4 screens on. So I think the Hawkeyes were on. They played, but they play Rutgers? No.
Illinois.
Was that last week?
Illinois.
Illinois. Yeah, Illinois. Yeah. They played Illinois. I watched that. Who did Clemson play at the similar time?
I think so, yeah.
I think I watched Clemson. I don't know. There's a couple games that I watched on there. Nothing too crazy. Nothing that I was like, oh, it sucked me in. The Iowa game was kind of boring, but they are what? Is it Big Ten champions? Big Ten West
Big
Conference
10 West.
champions or something?
There you go. Look at you.
You're damn right. You're damn right.
Yeah, look at you. Knowing a little bit.
Rep. I'm getting there.
So to start, for college, number 1 Georgia defeats number 18 Tennessee 38-10. Georgia still is a powerhouse. They reclaimed their number 1 status over the last week. It's going to be tough to see a team beat them. They're just good on all cylinders.
Yep.
Number 5 Washington defeats number 11 Oregon State 22-20. That game, Washington has played a lot of close games against these ranked teams. And
Skinny, you disconnected.
Oh no, we're good. We're good.
It says unstable internet connection. I can't see you. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you connected?
There we go. Now I can see you.
Are you connected to your Wi-Fi? Oh.
Yeah.
Washington has played some pretty close games and keeps winning. So, I mean, we'll see. Hopefully they can get in the top 4.
I've heard.
Especially with Jordan Travis getting hurt for FSU now. We'll see what happens there.
I heard he's also coming to the now. He's officially says he's not coming back to Florida. It's Florida State, right?
Yeah, Florida State. It makes sense.
God, look at me. Yeah.
Next one is Arizona. Number 17 Arizona defeats number 22 Utah 42-18. I'm on that Arizona.
That's the game I was watching. Arizona and Utah.
Dude, I'm on that Arizona train, man.
I know you are.
Shaking the world. They could win out. I don't know. They could be top 10 by the next by the end of the year, depending on how they're playing. Pac-12.
We're huge.
Yeah.
We're huge Arizona people on this podcast. We love our Arizona. Well, ASU, baby. ASU.
Even though, well, that's Arizona State, but they're bad.
AU.
Even though the Pac-12 is dissolving, these Pac-12 teams are good. So these next conferences are going to be crazy to see how that happens. Then number 21 Kansas State defeats number 25 Kansas 31-27. That was also another good game. But
nice.
Nothing really to talk about there. We already touched base on it a little bit, but number 16 Iowa defeats Illinois 15-13. Literally,
Once I was watching it too, like I thought Illinois was going to beat them
Yeah, I did too. It was
because
crazy.
Iowa sucked. They really sucked, and Illinois was like, weren't they up by a touchdown or two? And then I thought they were up. They scored at least first, I believe.
Yeah, they were winning, and then again, it's Iowa's defense and special teams that are really bailing them out.
Yeah,
Holding them around.
dude, Iowa's offense is terrible, and their quarterback's fat as hell.
That's their backup because their starting quarterback got hurt. But
Oh, that's that. What's that guy's name? That's the
oh,
guy from Michigan, isn't it?
oh yeah, McNamara.
Yeah, God, I just know so much about college football. I'm just a big college guy, you know.
And then lastly, Iowa State loses to number 7 Texas, 26-16. It's closer than I thought it should have been.
Yeah, I was about to say that sounds a lot closer than it should have been.
I thought Texas was going to stomp on him, but Iowa State was able to kind of run the ball, at least at the beginning, and then
Ah,
just bad play calling. I guess I don't know. It's rookie freshman quarterback. It'll get better, they say. He has some good glimpses. We'll see. Now, turning over to the NFL. Do you want to start us off with some news?
yeah. First one. I'm wrong, guys. I'm gonna admit it. First one to admit it. Joe Burrow's out for the freaking season.
No more MVP.
Gosh, that makes me sad. Did you watch that game?
Yeah,
Such a weird play. He goes and he throws it, and then like when they were struggling, they played. I'm trying to think. Where they were playing the Ravens, weren't they?
yeah.
Once he got
Thursday night
hurt.
football.
Yeah,
Yeah, the one Thursday night football game that was gonna be like everyone's
big.
excited.
Yeah.
This is gonna be good, and then injuries.
What's their backup? Some is it Browning or
Yeah, Browning.
Brown? Jake Browning? Is that his name?
Yes, sir. Look at you, knowing players.
Number one waiver ad this year or this week, especially in two quarterback leagues. Uh,
Yeah.
no, that's terrible. The Bengals season's over. My Joe Burrow is going to come back and MVP, win the MVP. Not going to happen now, obviously. It's really sad. I feel bad for the Bengals. Has a lot of fantasy implications, I think.
Oh
Um,
yeah. I mean, right
and you know
now,
what, Skinny? You know what looks. You know who has the up and up though? Joe Mixon stock, baby. What have I told you? Up to the fucking moon.
well, yeah, because we
They're
just
gonna have to run the
knew Joe,
ball.
because we just knew Joe Burrow was gonna get gonna get hurt.
Skyler, Skyler, he fucked you.
On top of that,
And Kenneth.
we'll just talk about the game. Bengals did lose 20-34. I think largely because of, I mean, they were losing when Burrow was playing. They were playing like dog water, but they kind of started
Mm-hmm.
hitting the roll right before that injury happened. So
Yeah.
I think it would have been a better
And
overall
Joe
game.
Mixon ran. Joe Mixon was running everywhere before that too. He looked really good.
With
That team, I know they were losing, but they looked like they were coming back before that. That really, really
with
hurt them.
that win and the Chiefs' loss, the Ravens are now currently the number 1 AFC team. Got that bye so far.
Gross.
Yeah, he tore his ligament in the wrist. Next news.
Kenneth Walker the third, might be put on IR. Came out of that game hurt.
Pete Carroll says he's
Terrible.
not. Pete Carroll says they're not going to. I don't know.
I don't fucking trust Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll said Chris Carson was gonna fucking play. He got taken off IR, and then I traded him to Little Austin. So
Yeah, then yeah, dude, something about
yeah, then
Seahawks
he
running
ended his
back.
career.
Seahawks running back said
Yeah,
something with an oblique injury, and it was a non-contact oblique injury too. Just he
yeah.
pivoted wrong and got hurt.
Whoever has Zach Charbonnet, dude, that dude's gonna have so. And he's their third down receiving back. That dude has so much fantasy potential.
Yep, it's projected
So
12 points this
uh,
week. So
yeah, I feel like it'll be more. That could honestly, if Kenneth Walker the third is out for a long period of time, that could be a league winner right there.
yeah, depending on what happens with Kenneth Walker, for sure. You have any more news? Because I have a bunch.
Yes. Uh, Shaq Leonard, Shaquille Leonard, cut by the Colts. Big. I mean, I know that he was just 2 years away from being like one of the best linebackers in football.
Yeah, injuries.
Kind of shocked that, and they just paid him not too long ago too.
Yeah, injuries are the big one. He's been on the sideline. He was supposed to come like last year,
Yeah.
got injured, sidelined him, tried to come back, got injured again. This year's the same way. Came back, got injured, sidelined again. For the amount of money he's getting paid,
It's uh
it's understandable. You know, like
49ers. That's where I think he's gonna go.
there's no fucking way they have the money for that.
Dude, it doesn't matter, dude. The Niners pull cap. Well, what the Eagles? The Eagles are the epitome of just throwing cap around and having cap for players. I think they could do it.
No, the team that's the epitome of that was the fucking Chargers. This year they won the Super Bowl. That was
The
the
Chargers never won the Super
or
Bowl.
the Rams. Sorry, I was thinking Los Angeles
Oh,
that year.
okay. I was about to say
2020.
Chargers never. No.
Um, yeah,
Yeah,
I
potato.
understand the
Yeah.
release. I get it. He hasn't really produced for you. I don't know exactly what his dead dead cap and all that would be for waiving him and all that, but he's gonna get signed somewhere. It all just really comes down to his physical and being healthy if he can perform at all.
Yeah.
You got any more? I have way more.
No. Go ahead.
Uh, Rams waived Darrell Henderson because Kyron Williams is expected to come back. So if you have Darrell Henderson and ran with him the last couple of weeks, no point to keep him anymore.
Hmm.
Matt Canada finally fired, offensive coordinator for
Oh
the
yeah, that's a
Steelers.
big one. That's a big one.
Uh,
Hey, who do you think? What do you think that's gonna? The implications are gonna be? You think Najee and Jalen Warren are still gonna share that backfield? Do you think they're gonna use them differently? What do you think that will be? Because
I think Kenny Pickett's finally going to come unleashed a little bit.
you think that he can? Like, I kind of think at this point in time, Kenny Pickett might have been ruined.
I excuse me. I think there's hope. I do think there's hope. I think that offense was
Yeah,
just terrible. The play calling was terrible. You're
yeah.
it just everything was bad. They're still somehow winning games because of their defense, but I think Kenny Pickett will start rolling with just getting some more smoothness into their actual offense instead of let's run the ball on first and second down and gain 2 yards and then always have third and eight, third and longs where you're not getting into a groove and you're constantly punting the ball. I don't know who's taking over. I didn't see
Yeah.
that. I would imagine Mike Tomlin will, or he'll have more of an input on it, which I hope he does. But that will be big. Um,
Mike Tomlin's a defensive guy, so I heard that the running
yeah,
backs coach is taking over,
yeah. I guess yeah, that would make
which
sense too. Uh,
which
more
probably
fantasy,
a good thing.
more fantasy implications. Michael Thomas is now on IR for the next 4 weeks.
Thank you, Chris Olave.
So that'll be big. Doesn't matter who's
Yeah,
quarterback,
that is.
Winston or Carr moving forward. Olave should be him. You should probably see an influx of Raheem Shaheed, getting a little bit more targets with him out. Kareem Jackson, Broncos safety, 4 game suspension for the hit
That
tackle he
hit.
had on Dobbs. I don't fully agree with it. I feel like it's just because he's a hard
And
hitter, but hits him in the shoulder. I guess he's been having problems all year with, he's already had a 2 game suspension. He's appealing this one too to see if he can get it lowered. I just don't agree with it. Didn't hit him in the head. Didn't
and
you know, right in the shoulder, straight in the shoulder. Like
NFL soft. It's so soft. Like, I get it. Like I told you in the group chat yesterday. I was like, I get that. I get the player safety, but these guys are played to hit each other. They're getting paid millions of dollars. If CTE is something that happens, boxers get hit all the time. They get CTE worse than NFL players. It's part of the
yeah,
game. If you're going to put your life out there, you can't cry about it. Maybe the guys back in the day that didn't know what they were getting themselves into. But dude, everyone's seen the movie Concussion. Everyone knows about it now. Everyone jokes about CTE. there is no excuse. If you're playing football, you can't make it that safe. All you're doing is ruining the game, and it is ruining the game.
Yeah, I agree. Like the passer or the roughing the passer last night called on Fletcher Cox against Mahomes. Like Mahomes is
That was bad.
jumping the pass. Fletcher Cox hits him in the shoulders. He falls. Like it's bad. A couple more things. Aaron Jones MCL sprain might miss some time. Been dealing with the hamstring. Now he's dealing with that.
Yep.
I still don't think AJ Dillon to the moon because even when Aaron Jones was out before, didn't do much. So he's gonna miss some time. I don't know exactly how much they were gonna say. I'm gonna completely destroy his name. Uh, the the 49ers player, Hufunga or whatever,
Oh,
he tore his
Tufunga,
ACL.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
so he's
safety.
out.
Yeah, it's sad because he's really good. He's the one I really like. I have him in our dynasty league, the ranch with JT and all them. He's the one that trained with what's his what why can't I think of the Palomalo? He
Yeah,
trained with him and learned from him. Like he took him underneath his wing and Troy Palomalo, and that's really sad because he's probably like the top five safety in the league right now. So
well, and the other one to think
that's a
about,
big hit to their team.
yeah, the big thing to think about is we talked about it, what, a week or two ago? The 49ers' weakest point is their secondary. So
Yeah.
lose a guy like him, teams might be able to take more advantage of that. And then the last news here, Joey Bosa sprained foot, might get placed on IR. Haven't really determined that yet. I
Saw
guess
that.
no
He
news
was
on that.
crying too.
Yeah.
What a bad year for Joey Bosa.
What a bad year for the Chargers in general. Again, I feel like they're cursed. Like it's just a cursed team. Like even
It's every single year I hear this about the Chargers.
dude, it's
Every
sure.
single year.
Dude, Philip River days. Like it doesn't matter. There's something about that team that
Yeah.
is just cursed. I don't know. They left San Diego thinking maybe we could turn it around. It still continues the same stuff. I don't know what it is with that organization, but like it is crazy to me how unlucky they all. I like their defense is bad. They have a lot of star talent, but their defense is
Dude,
terrible, and now it's just going to get even worse with him now.
we need someone needs to make a meme of Justin Herbert like like you know those face where they form
Oh,
and it needs to
transitioning to
form
Kirk
into
Cousins,
Kirk Cousins, bro. Yeah.
dude.
Because how much shit you give him, dude? That dude cannot win a game for the life of him. Like it is crazy.
It is, and
It's like, and here's the thing: he reminds me exactly of Kirk because he does everything he can to win the game, and he still can't win the game. So like I'm like, he's like one of those players where I think he's super talented. Like I get why people shit on Kirk because of that, but I was like, you got to shit on him too. It's the same fucking
yeah,
thing.
yeah. It's crazy. Keenan Allen dropped a wide open touchdown pass. The Quentin Johnston
Fuck,
drop,
dude. Yeah, I saw that one.
like it's crazy. Like what else can you
Like
do?
I said, pay me half their salary and I'll fucking play better, dude.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I'll catch that pass. NFL
So
players are so goddamn soft, dude. Why can't you like that? I don't get that. Like back in the day, like people had drops, but people don't take drops serious anymore. I feel like
yeah,
these rookies and stuff like that, their hands aren't that good. They don't look that good. It looks like they're fast and athletic, but like they
yeah.
can't. They're
We're
not
never.
making
I don't
catches that.
know. I don't know if we're ever gonna see a Larry Fitzgerald who had more tackles than drops in his career type thing ever again.
No, there literally isn't. Like possession receivers that go out and do it. Like I don't like who has the best hands in the league right now. Think about that for a second. Think about who has the best hands in the league. There's not one person that you think besides maybe D Hop. They're like, wow, their hands are that good. Like
I'd
even
say I'd say D Hop and
JJ's
like
really
Chris Godwin are probably like my top two with actual hands.
okay. I'd say JJ probably has the best hands in the league, but even
But
then, like,
the
dude,
thing
you know
is,
how many drop passes I've seen of JJ?
you have to think about
Adam Thielen.
yeah, Chris Godwin isn't like doing spectacular catches. I guess that's the other one too. Is like you're not telling Chris Godwin to go do a one-handed catch or like go up and trap. Like
Yeah.
he plays more of the slot. he's a more for sure-handed guy.
Honestly, Keenan Allen might be a more sure-handed guy too. That one
Um,
catch that he had a couple weeks ago where he like spun, that was crazy.
so we'll just go into our two teams' games. Don't have much time to cover. Uh, Vikings 20, Broncos 21. Russ leads the fourth quarter drive, puts up the touchdown to Sutton, which Sutton's had two crazy end zone touchdown catches now, back to back weeks. Madison with the fumble.
So Madison fumbled after he had such a good rushing game. What's his Dobbs fumbled and threw a pick. It just I think Dobbs might have fumbled twice, maybe.
Yeah, I guess I remember. I went to bed after the third quarter, so I have no idea what happened
Yeah,
afterwards.
I think Dobbs threw a pick if I remember correctly. We had four turnovers, I believe. That's what I think I remember. Honestly, you have four turnovers. Like we were a better team than the Broncos. That's the thing about Dobbs, though. He does crazy stuff, but it just I don't
And
know if he's always.
then the Vikings, what, 5 game win streak? Broncos are now on a 5 game win streak. The Broncos are five and
Yeah,
five or 4 win streak. They're 5-5 now. Like AFC is a tough division, but the Broncos are right there on a wild card spot, really. And with teams
yeah,
like the Bengals losing their quarterback, the Broncos may be able to make a late push. With how bad some of
yeah.
these teams have been. And then
That was
lastly,
crazy.
Eagles 21, Chiefs 17, Monday Night Football. Fly, Eagles fly.
Dude, I'm telling you, like I watched that whole game. I won the Eagles to lose, of course. But
Well, I hype on the
once I
Vikings
watched
train,
that,
but you can't hype on the Eagles train. Thanks.
I can't. The only thing I keep thinking is how good that team is and how mediocre Jalen Hurts is. That's all I think once I watch it. I'm not even lying to you. Like I'm trying to be optimistic about it, but like I look at that, I honestly feel like he holds that team back sometimes.
I think
Like the
right.
defense looks good to me, the secondary does.
I think right now, I think like first half for us, it looked like a lot of like weeks one
Yeah.
through four offensive play calling again, where they were just super conservative. Like 3rd and 1, what's worked all year?
The tush push,
Yeah, and then
the
we try to run.
fucking quarterback.
We try to run a what it like a running back handoff. Like it, and we get stopped. Like
Yeah.
there were so many questionable play calls that were going on. Man, they're bringing the heat on first and second downs like they were. You have AJ Brown, who's arguably one of the best one-on-one receivers in the game, and you're not even
One catch.
not even
One catch.
like they looked his way a couple times, but two of the incompletions were like deep passes. It's like get the man on
Yeah.
like a quick slant or something where he can use his body against the guy.
You guys got bailed out by so many drop passes by the Chiefs,
Oh
though.
yeah, oh yeah,
Holy
yeah,
shit,
and
dude.
overthrows.
The
Mahomes,
Marquez Valdez Scantling. He didn't overthrow that many though. Like he had a lot of passes that were
but
just
there
in the breadbasket.
was two or I want to say at least two deep balls that he just completely overthrew the guy. Would have had touchdowns if he would have, if they would have actually like been on point. But it was just weird.
Yeah.
Like that was weird. We were getting our rush there, but of course Mahomes was getting improvising and getting out. The Jalen Carter almost catching the spike was crazy to me.
Yeah, that was crazy. No one talked about that either, but he was just
No,
like,
he said that he
dude,
saw it like
that was
he
crazy
saw
as
like
hell.
some high school kid do it in a game or something, like a video of a high school kid doing it. So he's like,
Yeah, I've seen that highlight. I've
I'm gonna
seen it.
try it. It's crazy, and he almost had it too. Like it literally hit him in the hands.
Do you know how pissed Patrick Mahomes would have been if he would have spiked the fucking ball and he would have dove and caught that?
Well, the commentators were like, a spike isn't a time for the offensive line to just rest. You got to make sure you need to make sure your quarterback isn't going to get like plowed over or something. I don't know. It was weird, but end of quarter 1. I'm glad we're still winning. We got the Bills, so another tough game, but oh well. The sad thing is or the best thing is we're one-loss team. We've beaten some good teams. We still haven't even played our best overall football yet. So I'll take it.
That's what I mean though with Jalen Hurts. Like I feel like if you want to win with Jalen Hurts, not saying you can't win with Jalen Hurts. I'm never gonna say that because I don't think that he's like the worst quarterback in the league. Like I would say he's top 15 at the lowest in my opinion. Probably around that top 10, but I think he's back into top 10. But I honestly think that he plays the best once you have him moving. He's not a guy that's going to make all the throws. Like he just can't,
Yeah,
to be honest.
I
Like
mean he's
but
allegedly the #1 MVP guy now for beating Mahomes. All right, quarter two. We're just gonna start it off quick with bad betting. Last week went 3-1. Seahawks couldn't cover that 1 point, lost by 1 point. Um,
what a terrible thing.
so 3-1, 25-19 overall. With this week upcoming, we have the 49ers versus the Seahawks. We have the 49ers covering the 7 against the Seahawks, especially when they beat up Seahawks offense. Geno Smith's even injured. He's probably going to play, but got a shoulder issue going on after last week. We have Pittsburgh covering the 1.5 against the Bengals. With losing Joe Burrow, that's big. The Jags covering 1.5 against the Texans. I think it's going to be a shootout, but I think after last week, the Jags are going to be feeling it a little bit more. And we'll see how that goes. And then lastly, the Rams covering the plus 1.5 against the Cardinals. I don't know how they're not favored, but all right, I guess. If you do that all in a parlay, $10 pays 123.42 on FanDuel as of right now. Odds might change a little bit, but still over that. We are officially now at even dollars, so let's hope that we can hit something this this week. Uh, so for our
Yeah.
quarter two, this episode is going to be releasing on Thanksgiving Day, so it's our Thanksgiving episode. I'm just going to start it off. I know you didn't really growing up. You didn't celebrate a lot of holidays. At least you know what you always said. I don't know what holidays you didn't celebrate. Uh, for Thanksgiving, do you have any like traditions of your
So I
family?
did. I I celebrated Thanksgiving and all holidays till I was 12. And then from that on, I had like 6 years like where we
Okay.
didn't do it because my mom switched religions, all that stuff. So I did celebrate it a good chunk of my life. Probably about half and half because you remember probably 8 years and then
Yeah.
whatever 6 8 years. But so no, I didn't. And I do love Thanksgiving. Actually, shockingly, Thanksgiving is probably my first favorite holiday.
You love Halloween.
Yeah, I do love Halloween, but Halloween is like Halloween's fun because my Halloween party and stuff like that, and I
Yeah.
love doing that. But I love Thanksgiving. I love the food. I love the football. I love just eating as much food as you possibly can, and sitting on the couch and be like, "Oh, damn, Detroit's on and Dallas is on. That's crazy."
Do you have any traditions?
A lot of not necessarily. I just go to we've hosted Thanksgiving the last 3 years since we bought the house, but or 2 years, 2 or 3 years since we bought the house. This year is finally the year that we don't have to host it, and I'm happy because that's such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I don't know that problem. I got other people
Well,
that do that
you
for me.
oh, because your mom,
Yeah, I have
because
other
your
people
mom
that.
hosted you.
Yeah, my mom hosts it. Whoever. I always have an option to go to. I don't got to worry about it.
I mean, it's less a pain in the ass for me because I can't cook, but Brooke cooks it, so whatever. It's a lot of pain in the ass on her, which
Yeah.
in turn becomes a pain in the ass
Yeah,
on me.
yeah,
So,
yeah. That's how it works. Uh, so
yep.
traditions for us in high school, primarily like the 4 years of high school, maybe early middle school,
Hmm.
late middle school was we'd have like all the guys over. Um, there'd be a bunch of us. All the ones that were like, "Oh, I'll celebrate with my family for like an hour, and then I'll leave you and come hang out with you guys because you're our real family." Uh, and we just do a huge Madden tournament every year. Um,
A Madden tournament?
Yeah, do a Madden tournament, and we'd
Yeah.
eat lunch. Once lunch was done, we'd head downstairs and create brackets and choose whatever teams you wanted to be or whatever, and do a Madden tournament every year. And then we stopped doing that after high school. I think high school.
Hmm.
Now it's
Interesting.
now I just go eat a lot of food and deal with my kids.
You also hate Madden now too, so.
Yeah, I hate Madden.
Well, I guess back in the day, once we were in like high school, once we weren't celebrating at home, I always celebrated because of Brooke, but
Yeah,
we used to do the Turkey Bowl.
I did that one year. I think.
Did you? I
Yeah.
did it too. I don't know if we won. I loved playing the Turkey Bowl. God, like, would you, if you had one more chance, if you could do one more time, would you play tackle football again? Just one backyard tackle football.
Can we do it on like a Friday so I have the weekend to recover? Like, if I knew
That's
I
what you'd need, yeah.
if I knew I didn't have to work the next couple of days, I'd probably be willing to do it. Is it going to be pretty?
I kind of think I would again.
Is it going to be pretty? Probably not, but I'm willing to do it.
See, here's the thing though. I feel like so you know how we used to always do that. Me and you kind of like had our league. I don't think I could. I don't think I have the contacts anymore to get grown ass men to come do it. We're not like in our teens anymore where I could be like, hey, let's go play fucking football, and people will be like, ooh, well, I don't got anything else to do. People are like, oh, I'll be at a wedding, or oh, I have this. So I don't know.
My body will break. Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. So a little bit of history on NFL. I guess football in general with Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
Uh, this is where I got my Yale and Princeton from. First ever football game on Thanksgiving was Yale and Princeton back in 1876. That's where I got my Yale and Princeton first game. It was that one.
Nice.
And then the NFL. I guess it wasn't the NFL yet, but NFL style football didn't start playing on Thanksgiving until 1934. That first game was the Detroit Spartans versus the Chicago Bears. Why did Detroit change their name? I don't know why, but the Spartans is way cooler than the Lions.
No, 1,000%. They should have kept that. Could you imagine the Detroit Spartans versus the Minnesota Vikings this
Yeah,
Sunday night?
way better. Why do we not have a Spartans in the league?
It is
We need a
better.
Spartans in the league. If the NFL expands, get a Spartans. That's all we need.
That's true.
And then I have a trivia question for you. Do you know the one team that has never
Okay.
played a Thanksgiving game yet?
Oof. Jacksonville Jaguars.
There you go.
Or,
Yep.
am I right?
Yeah.
God, I am the best. You know why I picked them? Because I was like, oh, they're one
Yeah.
of the newer
Yeah.
franchises. They haven't really ever been relevant.
Yes. Never played on
They
the
used
field.
to only do they used to only do two games, but now they do three. It's the Lions and the Cowboys, and then they always do like a freaking like some random primetime game.
Yeah. There's three teams that are undefeated on Thanksgiving. The Panthers, the Texans, somebody else, but they're like 1-0 and 2-0. Like they haven't played a whole lot of games.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting. I feel like the Jags have a good enough team to be like, hey, let's go put them on Thursday Thanksgiving football now against the Lions or the
Yeah.
Cowboys at this point. Not a
I think Thanksgiving football is usually good football.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
It usually produces really good damn football. Like
Well yeah, we're
I
gonna
always
go
think
over
like it, yeah, yeah, I agree.
that.
All right, go ahead, go ahead. Go with your spiel.
Oh no, that's all I got for that. Do you want to start? Do you have anything else before we go into the
Miscellaneous stuff.
yeah?
No,
No?
we can go right ahead into it.
All right. Well, before that, everybody enjoy your Thanksgiving. Now that we're talking about it, hope you all listen to this
Yep,
episode early in the morning before you go and watch football for the day. But hang out with family and friends. But
true.
go ahead and start us off. Explain what we're doing and
So we're going to be talking about the greatest Thanksgiving performances. by players, teams, whatever. So I did all players,
I
but
just did top performances on Thanksgiving.
you did.
You did. You're
So
four. You're four, probably like top five.
D4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine are like, huh, that's a pretty good performance.
Mhm. So imagine this. It's 1998. Times were simpler then. We don't got all these smartphones and stuff like that.
You were 1 year old.
And you just turn on the. I was 1 year old. You turn on the old analog, and you're sitting there and you're trying to fix your antenna because it's all messed up, and you're getting pissed because your mom burnt the chicken or whatever, or the turkey. You're having turducken, whatever you do for your Thanksgiving, and you
Damn.
turn on there, and it's Randy Moss's. What the hell is that? Water?
Yeah, it's my come and go
Wow, this
100 ounce mug, dude.
it's your big gulp. But you turn on the TV and rookie Randy Moss is on there, and he goes, he has 3 receptions for 163 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the Vikings beat the Cowboys. And you're like, damn, that dude's really good. And you know what? He turns out to be a Hall of Famer.
Dude, that's crazy.
That game, 3 for 160 is insane. What's the math of that? That's over 40. It's over 50.
It'd be 50.
That's like over 50 yards per reception. Yeah, that's
Well,
insane.
think about it's 3 catches and 3 touchdowns. Every single reception was a touchdown.
Yeah.
Over 50.
Well, that was Randy Moss's revenge game because he really wanted to go to the Cowboys, and they really didn't want him. And yeah, that was the year the Vikings went to the NFC Championship game and lost by Gary Anderson kick.
Nice.
So, but yep, but it was a good game. Randy really showed him, and crazy, iconic game. I feel like that is, to me, that is the biggest Thanksgiving game. That's what I think of once I think of Thanksgiving football.
Dude, I think that's probably like one of the best games you could have as a receiver normally.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
not even Thanksgiving. You do that on a random Sunday afternoon. Damn, dude, like what is going on? Uh so my first one is Matthew Stafford versus the Eagles in 2015. He had
Hmm.
300 and can't even read my own writing. I think it's 37 yards. Could be 57, 37. I don't know. 330 plus yards. We'll just go with that.
Okay,
5 touchdowns, and they won 45 to 14. That
that's pretty
2015
crazy.
was a low point for the Eagles. Chip Kelly era, not very good. But putting up 5 touchdowns in the game, over 330 yards passing. That game also, Calvin Johnson had 3 touchdowns and like 90 some yards. So I almost put him in there too. But like 3 touchdowns, okay, get over 100 yards with it at least. But I say that as I am a guy that just sits on my couch.
Calvin, you just weren't good enough.
Yeah, I guess not. But yeah, dude, that's just putting up 5 touchdowns as a quarterback in a game. Very difficult to do. I mean,
Yeah, that is crazy.
even with a high-powered offense nowadays, it's not something that you see as much anymore either.
No, you really don't see that many 5 touchdown games.
Three,
5 plus touchdown games have been very few
yeah,
and far
three is
between.
usually three is about probably like all right 4, but yeah, 5 plus is again even though it's a high-powered offensive game where you're throwing the ball all the time and all that, it's not something we're commonly seeing.
I agree. So imagine this. It's 2004. Marcus is like at this point 7. So I think I went to school a little later, so I think I was 7 in kindergarten. I think I was 7-year-old in kindergarten. No, sorry, first grade. First grade. I was older. I was old for first grade
Yeah.
because I'm a year. So I was in first. I wasn't that retarded. Um, but but I went into I was in first grade. Picture this: Peyton Manning, versus the Chicago Bears. A year before, I think the Bears went to the Super Bowl 2005. So it was the year before, you know.
Yeah,
Or sorry, versus the Lions.
oh,
Excuse me. I'm crazy.
yeah,
The Lions. So Peyton Manning versus the Lions. Final score 41-9. Crazy score. Crazy score. Peyton Manning only threw 238 yards. He went 23 of 28 for his completion percentage. 6 touchdowns. That was the record or not the record at the time, but that was the year that he had the record for the most touchdowns in a year before Tom Brady broke it, of course. But that's pretty crazy.
dude. Like we were just talking about touchdowns. Anything over like three, you're just like, calm down, relax. Six
Yeah.
is like, was the defense even trying?
He was just sitting there. He's like, Dallas Clark, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne. He's like, I also have Brandon Stokely. Brandon Stokely.
Can we
He's like,
confirm?
you know what?
Can we confirm
I
that
got I got my Hall of Fame running back.
Can we confirm that every single one of those had a touch? Every one of those people had a touchdown, or are you just
You got the iPad. Look it up. Look it
put
up.
it away?
Wow. I'm even gonna say that they gave their boy Edrin James. He had a receiving touchdown.
The Hall of Famer Edgerrin James, all right.
Yeah, I know. The Hall of Famer Edrin James.
So my next guy
Crazy.
is Tom Brady versus the Lions of 2010. 340, 341 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. But that's not even the kicker. He had a perfect passer rating of the 158.3. Perfect. Can't get much better than that.
No, no, you can't. It is the GOAT, Tom Brady. He had quite a few good Detroit games, I feel like, over his career.
He had a lot of quite good games against every team, I'd say, but that's just me.
Yeah. My next one is obviously this is a controversial guy. Maybe maybe if the glove didn't fit, uh it'd be a lot different story. But OJ Simpson versus the Lions, 1976. We weren't even thought of then. My mom was a kid. My dad was just barely born. He rushed for 273 yards, had 2 touchdowns. They still lost though, because he scored the only points against the Lions. It was 27-14. Imagine rushing for almost 300 yards and losing that game.
I'd be pissed. I'd be like, trade me.
Something. It got him so mad he ended up killing his ex-wife or girlfriend or whatever. So
Allegedly.
allegedly the glove didn't fit.
Yeah, don't you know blood dries cloth and shrinks it, guys? My next one,
Yeah.
I went a different route. Actually, my next two, I went different routes. My next one is Luke Kuechly in 2015 against Dallas. Um, that was when the Panthers went 15-1. You know, phenomenal defense. Cam Newton's the
Yep.
star. He had 7 tackles, 2 interceptions, and one of them was like a 30-yard pick six. So, um, dude was an animal. I'm sad that he retired, and arguably could have been one of
Was that Dak that year? No,
2015.
Dak was
No,
2016,
would have
wasn't
been
he?
Romo still.
Yeah, so he was. Damn you, Romo.
Yeah, but uh, the 2 picks as a middle linebacker and one being a pick six really stands out to me, especially a dominant player he was. So yeah, definitely gonna give a shout out to Luke Kuechly because even with his pick six, he scored half of the points of what Dallas scored that game. So I mean, um, just needed his offense to do
That's
whatever.
crazy. Yeah, DeMarco Murray back then or what?
2015, I think it would have been.
They had to
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Luke Kuechly, honestly, he's one of those that he's gonna be a Hall of Famer. He has to be a Hall of Famer. He's done enough in his career. Cut it so short. It's really sad, honestly, because he was such a good player.
Yeah. Argue if he would have been able to
But what
play,
are you gonna do?
could have been one of the top, probably 5 greatest middle linebackers ever played the game.
My last one, it's Ernie Neverest. Never heard of the guy. I was just looking into it, doing my research. Rushed for 6 touchdowns in a game. This was 1929.
Oh yeah, who'd they play?
He played for the Cardinals versus the Bears. They won 40-6
Oh.
victory. He was like, you know what, 6 touchdowns, that's a lot, but let me also kick 4 PATs.
Ooh, look at him, the do-it-all player, the gadget player.
Oh, 100%. He was like, hold my beer. I'm going to come out here and show everyone why I'm not only one of the best running backs. That's got to be an NFL record, most rushing touchdowns in a game, I would think.
I think he's tied. He owned it probably. You want to know?
Yeah.
You want to know the next person that has 6?
Who?
Alvin Kamara.
Did he rush for 6? I thought it was 5.
Maybe it was 5. I don't know, but
I remember because
yeah,
it lost you a fantasy
literally
playoff.
one less touchdown and I win, and then I win the league. But Minnesota Vikings defense was freaking. I don't even know what to compare it to right now. Just a
What was that, 2018? 2018 that happened?
yeah. It was glass.
Or was it 2019?
It was like a little thin string wire.
It might have been 2020.
Just fucking breaking.
Dude, it was crazy.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't stop him. So my last best Thanksgiving performance overall of ever is 2001 Creed halftime performance. Dallas Cowboys versus the Broncos with the trapeze artists in the air and arms wide open. Just yeah. Do you not know this?
But there's a trap piece? No, I didn't know this. You got to explain to me as long as
Creed, the band.
What
Creed.
happened? Never heard of her.
Him. It's a band. It's a guy band. When we're done with this, you need to watch it. I would try to do it right now, but I don't want to fuck up our virtual shit because I can share my screen, but I'm not even gonna risk any of that. They had like shirtless trapeze artists like flying from the rafters in the stadium while Creed's performing. It's just epic.
Really?
It's just an epic hat. Like,
hey, sing us a Creed song. Maybe I
just
know.
said with arms wide open. I'm not going any further than that. But yeah, some say it's better than some Super Bowl halftime shows. All right, and it was a Thanksgiving Day halftime show.
That's crazy.
Yeah, elite. All right, elite. Top performance.
2001's a bad year too, so we needed that halftime show. Yeah, we needed that halftime show.
Did you just see that?
100%.
Bro, you just had the
What happened?
you just had the thumbs up, like a thumbs up bubble just came up right next to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see it.
No.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, like right up here, it just like showed up randomly, just like this. 2011 was a bad year. We needed that.
We needed that. That was a good year.
And
I don't know. That was crazy.
Good year. I literally don't know why that just popped up. But all right.
I don't know.
Quarter 2 done with.
Cheers.
Giving.
Down the pipe.
And for the best quarter, the fantasy.
Fantasy Football Podcast.
All right, all right, all right. We are going to be doing top top performances, bad performances of the week, and then
As usual.
five guys that we think that if you have on your team are going to help you be fantasy winners, specifically for the weeks of week 15 to 17. We looked ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
there's still time to trade. If you're able to somehow pull off some of these trades, might get some of these guys on your team.
If you have default, it's what? What did I tell you? Is it November 29th?
Yeah, like the
Is
last.
the trade
Yeah,
deadline?
like the last. So next week. Yeah, next week. Um, so starting off,
Get your trades in. Trade for these players.
if you need to, if you don't need to, you don't have to. But if you already have them, great. Uh, we're gonna start off with our top performances of the week. I'll start off. So the guy that I had for a top performance of the week in fantasy scored 28 points. Did lose, had 260 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 73 rushing yards. Standing at 6'6", Mr. Justin Herbert.
He had 73 rushing
Yeah,
yards.
led the team in rushing yards.
Really, I did not know that. He had 73. Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't watch the Chargers game, obviously. Um,
Could have had more passing yards. Could have had more touchdowns if his receivers knew how to catch a ball. But yeah, the rushing yards really stood out to me. He was taking off.
73.
Like
That's crazy. That's 7
mobile.
points right there.
Wouldn't you also think he's mobile, but he's not like Lamar fast, but he's mobile. So 73 yards. That's I don't know how
No.
many attempts. I guess I should have looked at that. But still, it's a lot more than some number one running backs in the league this previous week. So
Mm-hmm. I agree.
yeah.
Brees Hall would love to have 73 yards.
Yeah, at this point. Yeah, Justin Herbert, he'll
Nice.
continue it. He's been a top quarterback in fantasy this year, so
He's quarterback 2 or 3 on the year. He's had a really good year. Obviously, he's got the Kirk Cousins syndrome where his team's just that bad around him
yeah,
that he just can't win.
yeah, I agree.
I thought you would. My next one is, or my first one is Calvin freaking Ridley. Is he a bust or is he not? He's literally Mike Williams at wide receiver. He has, like, if you look at it, what?
But better.
Yeah, he's better. He's better. He five out of the 10 games he's played or whatever, 5 of them have been like double digit fantasy points, and then the other 5 have been single digit fantasy points. So I'm like, what do? He's someone that you play him and you just pray. You're like, please God, give me Calvin Ridley, 22 points. And he delivered. He came out, had 7 catches for 103 yards and 2 touchdowns for 30 total fantasy points. He helped me. I had to start him in 2 leagues, and he helped me get 2 victories because of that. He was a dog this week.
So if you win any of your leagues with him, are you going to get his jersey? Is he that guy for you?
Dude,
week?
if he just starts just popping off, that's all I need. Just Trevor Lawrence, just show us why you were the number 1 overall quarterback. Feed Calvin Ridley. He's talented. He can obviously do it. That other guy that you have, the rest of them, just stop throwing it to him. Don't run the ball. Just pass it to Calvin Ridley. Thank you. That's all.
My next
Christian Kirk.
St. Jones, Evan Ingram, get out of here.
Just stop catching
Yeah,
me.
my next guy is Jalen Warren. Better than Najee, taking over the role. I think so. Guy
Yeah.
had
Probably.
9 rushing attempts for 129 yards, a touchdown, and only 16 receiving yards, but had 25 fantasy points.
You literally can't. Like the dude is a dog. So I love Najee Harris. I had him his rookie year, and he was a stud. I just feel like Jalen Warren's starting to take over this backfield, and it's shitty because I like Najee and I think Najee's a good running back, but I just think that with how this team's played, I feel like Jalen Warren kind of fits the bill better than Najee does.
And
He's kind of more explosive than Najee is. He's probably a better pass catcher. And Najee's good at catching the pass, but he's just more explosive overall than Najee is, and he brings a competitive spark that that team needs.
yeah, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they go moving forward, especially losing Matt Canada now. Um, Najee, just like I said, Najee has kind of looked like
Hmm.
Zeke coming off that contract year of the holdout where he just wasn't as explosive and
Yeah,
just everything kind of went downhill from there.
he does.
Your next guy.
I agree. Um, Trevor Lawrence. He came in there. Big game for Trevor Lawrence. I'm sure that he was started in not a lot of leagues because he's been pretty disappointing this year. Hasn't been able to get it done with his arm. They've been running the hell out of the ball, but he came in there, threw for 262 yards, 4 total touchdowns, and had 31 fantasy points.
Yeah, he was on my bench. I still won barely, but he was on my bench. I have C.J. Stroud.
You Kenneth Kenneth Walker the third not being hurt, or if you guys never made that trade, he wins that
Aaron
game.
Jones getting hurt. I
That
mean,
was a
come on,
really
Aaron
close.
Jones got hurt too. All right, both scored 2 points.
Okay.
um,
Okay.
yeah. He hadn't had a game over 20 points. That was definitely needed. I think moving forward, him
Yeah.
getting that groove now. Jags are going to be a team to be a little scary with. Their defense has been playing well. It's actually pretty solid defense again.
So, question: after that game, do you trust Trevor Lawrence?
I have to.
So you're going to start him over C.J. Stroud?
Oh, you meant like no? I'm gonna keep playing Stroud. I think Stroud.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's all. It's gonna be a matchups for
That
me.
was
It's
my
gonna be matchups for me, I guess too. Because like,
really. So he might make your starting lineup though
yeah,
again. Is what you're
yeah,
saying?
like the Texans.
Hmm. Interesting.
Like the Texans have to play like I don't even know, but I know there's a couple games where I'm like I don't know if I want to play CJ against them. But like that same week, it's like Jacksonville plays like the Giants, or like a team that is like, all right, I should probably play that.
Yeah.
But yeah, big game for him. I'm
It's
glad
like
he needed
the
it.
Texans are playing the Browns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, stuff like that. Like,
So who do you play this week? Once they play each other, don't they?
do they?
I think they play each other. Yeah.
They do. I have C.J. Stroud in my
Yeah.
team.
Who are you
I
starting?
think I'm gonna stick with Stroud for now.
Is that who
Might
you're
change.
gonna stick?
Yeah,
Okay.
might change.
Interesting.
I might change my mind by Sunday. I don't know, but I'm gonna stick with Stroud for
Interesting. Okay.
now.
We'll see if you're right this week.
My next performance is the Buffalo Bills defense. They had 21 points. They had 6 sacks, 2 interceptions, and two
Hmm.
fumble recoveries. And
Yeah, they played really well.
and they forced the Jets to finally be like, "Hey, we're gonna put Zach Wilson on the bench."
They could have had Dobbs. They could have had Jameis Winston. They could have had, honestly, at this point, I would take Marcus Mariota.
And now
I would literally take any quarterback.
they're relying on Tim Boyle, a guy that had a
They might as well.
losing record in his college career. Keep in mind.
Hey, would you think different of this team if Carson Wentz is a quarterback? This is a team, the Jets. I would take Carson Wentz over that, honestly, because Carson Wentz, he sucks, but
The fact
does he suck
the
as
fact that
bad
the
as?
Rams signed Carson Wentz, I was kind of shocked with. But they saw Rip and play and like, All right. Well, if Matthew Stafford is going to be hurt, we need a guy that's at least like somewhat capable of doing something compared to what Ripon did.
Competent, yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
I
I
think
agree.
the other one too is the Jets kind of were just like we have they in their mind they think that Rodgers is going to come back, not maybe at the end of this year like he says, but like
Yeah,
next year they have him. Maybe if they do poor, they'll take that decent draft pick, get something else to fix whatever they need to, their offensive line, and then go from there. But yeah, Buffalo Bills defense.
I agree.
Buffalo Bills defense, as much as that team has been on a roller coaster, the defense has also been pretty consistent and been pretty low all season.
My next one is Saquon Barkley versus Washington. Dude went off. Dude had a very. This is what you needed from Saquon because he's had a really, really, really ugly year this year. I think with injuries, and then last week, did he score a point? I don't think he scored very many points last week. Maybe like under 5.
Yeah, it was not good.
I played him and it was bad. But he ended up having 83 rushing yards, which is okay. 2 touchdowns, a total of 29 fantasy points. So he was obviously used in the receiving game. I think he had 2 receiving touchdowns, so that's good. Which you love receiving touchdowns because that's 7 points at minimum.
Yeah.
So he was used. Danny DeVito, really, really, really was he was slinging the ball out there, man. That was crazy.
Tommy. Tommy.
Tommy, yeah, you're right, you're right.
I don't think,
Danny
dude.
DeVito's
Watching
Danny
Danny DeVito on a football field would be fucking awesome. That's all I know.
Danny DeVito, that's the guy from Always Sunny in
Yes,
Philadelphia, right?
yes,
Okay, that's what I thought, yeah. No, Tommy DeVito, cousin of Danny DeVito, um, is over here slinging the rock. He looked all right. He had like 20 some points too, so he's going crazy.
yeah, yeah. No. It'll be interesting to see how he bounces back with some of the other competitions he's got to play. That was a shocking game to me, watching the Commanders lose by that bad. But they also had some crazy turnovers. I don't know how Ron Rivera's not been fired yet. But yeah,
Yeah.
Shaquan needed that, I think, to kind of boost his morale for the rest of the year with not being able to win, losing your starting quarterback, and you're their offense. So needed something big for him there.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
my next guy is one of the younger guys that has been going off as of recently. I guess every wide receiver has been going off on this team recently. But this week was for him. Tank Dell, 8 catches for 149 and a touchdown, 28 fantasy points.
He is really good. The Texans have been surprisingly competitive, and they've won way more games than they should have. They could make the playoffs, honestly, this year, and they probably will.
Yeah, I was looking at the
Um,
rest of their record, and I think they can win at least like another four to five, realistically, make a push for the
yeah,
playoffs. But yeah, like
yeah.
every single one of
No,
those,
they are good. Tank Dell is.
Tank Dell, Noah Brown, Nico Collins, they've all had very big performances this year.
Mhm.
If one of them,
Dalton
yeah,
Schultz,
if one of them's not going off, at least another one's going off. It's at least one of them.
and I think it's official. I think Devin Singletary is the lead back in that
Oh
offense.
yeah, oh yeah. 2 games of back to back, great performances. Yeah, no way.
Hmm. Um, my next guy is Keenan Allen. Dude, I played against Keenan Allen 2 or 3 times this year, and every single time he's just gone the fuck off. I hate him. I really do. I really fucking do. Every single time I play him, he just goes off. Uh, 10 catches, 115 yards. So you're looking at a total of 21 points right there. And he tops it off with a touchdown. He had a total of 27 fantasy points.
Could have had more.
Gross. Eh. Yeah,
Could have.
could have had way more. every single time this dude touches the ball, uh, he's catching it. It's just crazy. Like that, like I was saying, and his shoulders all fucked up. Like you saw that picture of like his
Is
like
that
that
his
catch
worst
that he
play?
had 2 weeks ago, man. I cannot get over that. He's spinning, one hands it and goes. Like he is him. He is good. He is the number one target. Anyone that said he was old, he's not that old. He's way better than any wide receiver they have on that team by far. I thought he was old. I thought he was old. I thought he was done. Well, no, kind of.
You didn't want him.
I thought that he might
I
regret.
thought he deserved to be taken in like the third round, and you were like, "Nah, he needs to wait," which he did not go in the third round. But
Well, here's the thing. My wife could have taken him in our draft, didn't take him. Your wife could have taken him in our draft, didn't take him. Milton took him, and that's kind of a waste because Milton's always going to be the highest scoring guy in the league and still like have like 7 losses. It's
yeah.
insane, but
My last guy.
that was his performance going to be crazy.
My last guy. We got to get the ball rolling. So my last guy is Brandon
Yeah.
Ayuk, 5 for 156 and a touchdown, 26 fantasy points. He's the number one. He's taken over the number one position at the wide receiver spot. I would, like I said, coming into the season,
Who is it? Sorry, who is it?
Brandon Ayuk, whatever.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
And
Oh
I was
fuck
not
yeah.
high
He
on
is.
Debo coming into the season. I was like, Debo is not going to do anything that we think. Brandon has definitely done it. Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. Um, top my dislike is Eckler, 6 points, 64 yards. Uh, Eckler, man. I Here's the thing. What was the worst decision? Here's the thing. I could have kept Eckler, or I could have drafted Bijan. You know what I'm gonna take? I'm gonna take Bijan because at least he's played.
Yeah, yeah,
Eckler was not the right choice. The only right choice this year was CMC or Tyreek Hill, which unfortunately you got because Eckler was taken, even though you would have taken Eckler there. Eckler's been bad. He hasn't been good.
yeah. Well,
Those contract running backs, I am worried. I'm always worried about those contract running backs. And this year, you think he's going to get big money after this year? I don't think so.
no, no.
His value's gone down.
My my number one bad performance of the week is Derrick Henry. 10 attempts, 38 yards, one catch for 2 yards, a whopping 4 fantasy points.
Okay, question. Do you think Derrick Henry is the worst pick once it comes to draft capital in fantasy football?
For first round talent, yes.
You think he's the biggest bust?
Should not be a first round talent every year like they say he is. Because as soon as that team gets down, he's out. He's done. You can't use him. He's literally like other guys like Jonathan
Mm-hmm.
Taylor and those other like run heavy dudes. You can at least use in the pass game a little bit. Derrick Henry is like non-existent. There's no point. So he's at least a second rounder, I
No.
would say normally, but late second round if anything. But the overhype is always going to score all these touchdowns. He's going to do this, but when you're as bad as the Titans, there's no point. It's he was on a good team, yeah, sure, maybe,
My next
maybe.
my next guy is Najee Harris, 4 points, 36 yards. Man, Najee, have you come so far from being so bad? I don't get Najee. Najee to me has all the talent in the world. Like I actually like Najee. The only thing that he lacks is like he doesn't have that. He's not super fast, but he's still a good running back. He just he has not cut it this year, man. He's been hard because he's been playable some weeks. Like he's had big, like, 17-point games. Like I'm gonna start anyone that scores 17 points. But then he doesn't have the floor. The floor's so low. Having 4 points, that hurts. That loses you a
Oh
week
yeah.
for sure.
You want to know who also had 4 points? 106 total passing yards. Kenny Pickett. If you're starting him, I don't know why. I don't
Terrible,
even know
man.
why he'd be on our roster at this point.
Well, Well, in two quarterback
Yeah,
leagues, like my two quarterback league, like he's probably started, but like other than that, like avoid at all costs,
yeah.
man. That Steelers team, that Matt Canada, maybe he can do some better, but I don't know. Since he got fired, I don't know if there's much saving that team right now. Once it comes offensively, defensively, they're gonna win games. Like they're probably gonna make the playoffs and lose first round, but that Steelers team is
Yeah.
crazy. Lost to the Browns is tough too. My next one is Travis Etienne, a total of 8 points, 52 yards rushing. That sucks. I don't care. I don't have any Travis Etienne, so that sucks for all you Travis Etienne owners. But honestly crazy because he's been a top 5 guy that you really looked forward to
Well, and you
having.
think with the Jaguars' success, the only time that they were kind of successful this year was when they were able to actually run the ball. So to see them win a game with that,
Uh-huh.
what I guess you know, Trevor Lawrence ran the ball with 2 touchdowns and stuff, but you'd think ETN would have a little bit bigger of an impact in the win. Just kind of shocking with that.
I agree.
Another bad performance by a quarterback, Matthew Stafford, 190 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 9 total points. It's his first game all season where he's been under 10 points, first single digit game. You think with Puka, Cooper Cup, like you think with those type of receivers, you should be able to at least get over 200 yards a game, get you at least 10 points, whatever, like score touchdowns, all that.
Yep. Yep. It was bad. Good, decent game for Puka. I think he had like 17 points or something like
Yeah.
that. So Puka had a
The
good
big thing
game,
was
but
Cooper Cup
Cooper
got
Cup
hurt, so
also out. Oh, that's what we didn't talk about. We didn't talk about that during news. Cooper Cup out
yeah. But
too as well.
how long? What is it? We don't know those facts, so it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, true. My next one is AJ Brown, 1 point, one catch. Like I said though, I don't think, and you know who had a good game this week? I think he had a decent game. What's
Smith.
his name? Devontae Smith. I don't know how many points he had, but he's got to
Enough to
have at
beat me in a
least.
fantasy league because AJ Brown had 1 fucking point. I can tell you that much. Very
Mhm.
frustrating.
Yeah, so Smith should have had a touchdown too, or did he? He did have a
Or
touchdown, didn't
yeah,
he?
he did. He should have had another one. Um, but he was a yard short.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what I mean. Like he had a good game. Smith looked really well. This Eagles offense does not have enough firepower to make two fantasy relevant wide receivers, unfortunately, a weekly basis, I think.
So we'll do one more each, just with the timing here, and then we'll only do 3 of the fantasy winners because we're about to be done with time. My last one is Stephon Diggs, 4 catches, 27 yards, 6 total points. 4 of his 6 points were from catches. Very frustrating to see.
Uh, he got locked up.
Yeah,
I don't care what anyone says. I watched that whole game. I've watched a lot of Josh Allen. Everyone wants to put everything on Josh Allen, which Josh Allen does make a lot of turnovers. Like I'm never going to deny that. Like I've watched his games. He throws a lot of stupid picks. But Diggs got his ass locked up by
Gardner,
what's
Sauce,
nuts? Who they even play? I can't remember. Oh, he got locked up by
Sauce.
Sauce and what is it, DJ Reed?
Yeah,
Yeah, he did not play that well. So what are you gonna do? And that's the second straight week that I've seen him locked up. That's the thing about Diggs, though, man. Everyone talks so highly about how good Diggs is, and he's a good player. But once he was in Minnesota, it was Adam Thielen greater than Stephon
yeah,
Diggs
I agree 100%.
because he's more reliable. He is better. What are you gonna do? And then we're on to our players that we want the rest of the season. Fantasy playoff superstars, we think. Do you want me to start off, or do you
Just do
want to start
3,
off?
whatever 3.
The first one, Isaiah. My first one's Isaiah Pacheco. He he's currently the RB number 20. That team looks like it needs to be more run heavy because Defense is playing good. Offense, terrible. He's the only bright spot on that team.
And
Like,
last
honestly.
last night or Monday night, because I guess this release was Thursday. Their first quarter, they were running the ball well, and then second half, they were not running the ball like at all, and that made a huge impact on their offense.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, Pacheco.
They should have. They would have won the game. RB20, he plays New England. Hard game, but I feel like he could come out and grind it out. The Raiders, love that. And the Bengals, decent defense, but no Joe Burrow. I feel like this team's gonna fold. Defense to me is a very momentum
Oh,
like side of the ball. Like I feel like the Vikings, their defense has played a lot better. Do they have any talent on that team besides Daniel Hunter? Probably not. Or Harrison Smith, kinda.
Anthony Barr, dude.
Probably not,
Anthony
but
Barr, bro.
it's a momentum thing.
Anthony Barr. And
Damn right, Anthony Barr, dude.
who's that safety? Safety.
UCLA. No,
Murphy.
Whitney Mercer or not? No, Josh. What the fuck's his name? It's not Merciless. Is
Don't
it
you guys have
Merciless? No, it's
Murphy? Yeah.
Byron Murphy. But our safety's really good. I can't think of his name. Josh. I can't think of his name. He has played really well. He was a backup for a couple of years, and he like came out, and he's like a number like PFF has him as like the number 4 safety in the league. Like he's had a lot of picks. I can't think of his name though. I'm a bad Minnesota Vikings
Just
fan here.
terrible. You said it, not me. Uh, my
Yeah,
league
I'm
winner,
terrible.
one of my league winners is Josh Dobbs. You had injuries at quarterback. You needed a quarterback. Quarterback like Kenny Pickett's not panning out for you. If you have Josh Dobbs on your
Maybe I had Joe
yeah,
Burrow.
like if you have Josh Dobbs, I would feel very comfortable over the next 15, 16, 17 if you're in the playoffs. If you had to play him, he plays. First off, I think he's only had one game under double digits, maybe. I think everything has been double digits plus because he brings that rushing ability.
Yeah, he's been good.
Cincy, like you said, lost Joe Burrow, momentum shifter. It's a good defense, but he can make them pay. Detroit and Green Bay, going to be divisional games, going to be fighting for whatever spot potentially. Like, once you hit that week 16, 15, 16, 17, these teams that are 6-4 in, whatever, I guess, whatever they'll be after the next couple of weeks, but, looking for playoff spots, he's going to have to ball out. He's been balling out for the most part. I think if you have to play him on your team, he'll be a viable guy that's going to give you that chance to put yourself in.
There are worse positions to
Oh
be
yeah,
in
definitely.
because he seems like he's scoring. Minnesota does not score a lot of touchdowns on the
Especially in
ground,
a
so
two quarterback
it's all
league.
going to be through the air or
If you
through
can have him in a two
touchdown.
quarterback
Yep,
league, very good.
I agree. My next one is Nico Collins. Dude is a bona fide stud. Yep. He's the number 1 on this team too. Uh, I want Texans players. CJ Stroud has proven to me that he is fantasy viable. Should be the MVP over Jalen Hurts. I believe that
Yeah,
too.
I after this week,
With what he's done with
after
that,
this week, I definitely believe that he.
that's what he's done is impressive as
Yeah,
fuck. Impressive
I
as fuck.
definitely
But
think CJ Stroud should be MVP this week.
they play Tennessee. You love that. Cleveland, you don't love that so much, but I'm sure it'll be competitive. Cleveland's going to fight for a playoff spot, so are the Texans more than likely. And then Tennessee again. I love that for fantasy playoffs. I really do. Tennessee twice. Give me as much of that as I can get.
Yeah, I got him, so I think I'll be good there. Running back position, guy DeAndre Swift for the Eagles. Uh, Seattle,
Yep.
Giants, Arizona, weeks 15, 16, 17. Three of probably
You
the
like
most
that?
favorable matchups for a player, in terms of uh, three in a row. You usually get like maybe two good matchups, maybe one question mark. These are all three where Swift could have huge games against. So in 15, 16, 17, Eagles are going to be, we currently the number one seed. We still have the toughest schedule to play, or one of the toughest schedules to play. We're going to be pushing for that number one spot. Where we've been the most successful, running the ball. Opens up everything else for us. And
Running the ball.
DeAndre Swift
Yep.
to
That's the key to the Eagles. You got two running backs, a running back at quarterback and a running back at wide. Honestly, Jalen Hurts might be a fullback, dude, because how powerful he is. But run the damn ball. That's what they need to do. Do you want to do? Do you want to finish them, or do you
do
just
one
want to do
more.
one more? Jameer Gibbs, currently running back 9. Also, Nico Collins was wide receiver 17. Crazy, because he should be like in the 30s, typical year. Maybe 40s, 50s, honestly. But running back 9, he plays Chicago, Denver, and Minnesota for the fantasy playoffs. Give me as much Jameer Gibbs as you can, man. Like I was an advocate for him. He's gonna be a top 10 guy. Like I said, first round running backs are usually top 10. Hopefully, let's put this in the atmosphere that Bijan follows that too. Maybe Arthur Smith's like, ooh, if I don't start using my talent, fans are pissed off at me. Fantasy managers are pissed off at me. Fuck, maybe even like they're
My
gonna fire
GM is
me.
mad at
So
me.
we'll put that in the
My
air.
GM is getting pissed.
Yeah, he's mad at me. We took Bijan to not use him as a decoy, whatever. But anyway, enough about Bijan. I talk too much about those anyway. But Jameer Gibbs, bona fide superstar, and I think he's the better back. I think he officially took over David Montgomery, who's been good, but it just doesn't feel the same in Detroit. Jameer Gibbs is a dog, man.
Well, that 1-2 punch, dude. The last 2 weeks, everybody was like, Jameer Gates had this big game. How is David Montgomery going to come back? And guy has been balling out himself. So they're both having,
He fits that offense better than Swift ever
yeah.
could have,
And they're
too. I think
the
genuinely.
nice thing is they're having fresh legs. That's the big difference. Is you're not
Hmm.
pounding the ball like they were. My last guy, this would have been later round draft pickup uh, with the change at quarterback makes me a little bit happier with it. But I'm going to go D Hop. This is a solid flex player that with Will Levis in at quarterback, he's he's number one. He's getting targets. I think he had one down week, maybe last week. But 15, 16, 17, he's got Houston, Seattle, Houston. Houston's defense has been good, but they've been
Yeah.
giving up points, they've given up yardage. It's come down to like the wire, those type of things.
Hmm.
Um, Seattle did lose a safety DB, more played more special teams, but you lose depth at that. I think D Hop can be that viable 10 plus points at that flex position that you need when it comes to the championship round, playoff round.
I agree.
Longer quarter, but we'll take it.
A lot of penalties, a lot of incomplete passes on that quarter.
Yeah, some
So
issues, P break, all that good stuff. We need it. It's the first time. You can't expect perfect, right? It's like everybody's first time. You never expect the perfect moment. The perfect, everything's perfect. You're gonna have some rough patches that you're gonna have to get over.
I've I, I've always been perfect first
Oh
time,
yeah.
Skinny. Don't you
Okay.
know?
All right. Quarter four. Um.
That's what they say.
Uh. Not a whole lot in the college football world. It is rivalry week. For most of college football. But
Hmm.
there's only two top 25 matchups as of right now. At least we're releasing this app, but we're recording before the college football playoff thing is released, which is actually in 2 hours, and then the episode releases after it. So the top six is going to be different. Could be
Hmm.
different than what we deal with on a weekly basis, but as of right now, number six Oregon plays Oregon State, which I didn't write down what they were ranked. I don't know why. I think Oregon wins it. Oregon right now, to me, besides Georgia, is probably the best overall complete team in terms of everything. Bo Nix, even though they lost to Washington, Bo Nix is starting to like kind of make me want to lean more, not to be biased because I am an Oregon fan, but to lean more towards him being the Heisman over Penix Jr. just because he is playing way better than Penix has, in my opinion. Um, but that's here nor there. Uh, and then the game that's going to impact the college football playoffs the most is number two Ohio State University against number three Michigan. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Who do you have?
I have Michigan winning it. They
You know, I'm going to take Ohio State then.
okay, all right, that's fine. Michigan has had Ohio State's number the last couple of years, and I still think they have the better overall team. Um, it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out for the CFP, just because what are they going to value? Oh, you lose the Ohio State, your one loss. Are we going to move you in? You know, the biggest thing is Michigan's only beat one ranked team, so if they lose, I think they're going to be completely out.
Yeah.
The other one too is FSU. Jordan Travis is out, undefeated. They have the easiest path because they play an unranked team. Do they go undefeated? Do they get in? Do you value Michigan losing to Ohio State over them beating unranked team? It's gonna be crazy. I'm very excited
Mm-hmm.
to see how all of this goes. um,
I
and then
agree.
number 16 Iowa plays Nebraska. Fuck Nebraska. Um, Nebraska is favored.
Fuck Nebraska.
Nebraska is favored by 2.5 points as of right now to win that game. And then
Iowa's going to win it. You heard it first.
probably it's bound to happen. It's going to be 16, some weird number too, like 16-7 or something, 16-6 or 8-2 or
I'm giving.
whatever.
I'm feeling it, Skinny. 18, 18 to 12. We're gonna do a really
Yeah,
crazy number.
probably. I wouldn't doubt it. Last night, I bet that the game was going to finish 22-17, and it finished 21-17.
That's close.
Um,
Close.
and then Iowa State plays number 21 Kansas State. Kansas State is favored by 9.5. I do think Iowa State covers that 9.5. I might be putting a bet on that this week. For sure, going to be a good game. I think Kansas State's still ranked, but
Yeah.
Iowa State's been at least competitive for the most part against every team. So we'll see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Moving into the NFL.
NFL.
I went 10-4 last week because I chose the Eagles and all that. I currently sit.
The Broncos.
Yeah, I took the Broncos too. Yeah. The two games, that yeah. I'm currently 104-60, and Marcus went 8-6. Could have went 10-4, but went 8-6. And is currently 99-65. You're almost there, man. Almost over that 100. You'll get it this week for sure. So why don't you go down the list and do what you do with these good old pickles?
Okay. So on Thanksgiving Day, your first game, you're gonna come. You're gonna be done eating your stuffing. Gonna be done eating your turkey. Maybe turducken, whatever you're eating that day. Maybe some cranberry sauce. Not a big cranberry guy,
Me
but
either.
some people like that.
Hold up. What is your
No,
favorite Thanksgiving dish?
oh, dog. This is gonna be
Your
the whitest
favorite
thing you
and
ever
least
heard.
favorite.
My favorite by far. I love green bean casserole. I don't care what anyone says. Green bean casserole is the shit. I really
All right,
do.
what's your least favorite?
I love green bean casserole. Gotta be the yams with the or the sweet potatoes with the marshmallows, dude. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, that is pretty gross.
Yeah, people that be eating that, I'd be like, that's some grody ass shit.
My
What about you?
my favorite is definitely the pie. My sister and my uncle make the best pies. Some say the best. Uh, always looking forward to the pie. But
Maggie
yeah,
does? What kind? Like pumpkin?
pumpkin, apple. My
Mm.
sister this year, she was like, I want everybody that's coming to Thanksgiving and their family to make pie, and we'll do a pie contest. And I'm like, why would I do that? I know yours or Uncle Charlie's are going to be the best. Why would I even bring my pie? I'm going to hate eating my pie when yours are so much better. Um, but the pie, for sure, the pie. Love pie.
Mm.
Big pie guy. Didn't I eat cake on my wedding?
Shout out to
Yeah, shout out to my
Maggie.
sister.
Maggie, how come I've never had this pie?
Come over to my mom's on Thanksgiving, man, and you'll have some. But
I got
um, big pie guy. Had pie on my wedding. Didn't eat the cake. My least favorite. It's a tie between the marshmallows and the yam or whatever squash, whatever bullshit it is,
Yeah, that's terrible. That shit's
and green
terrible.
bean casserole. I fucking hate green bean casserole. It is. Yeah, it's.
Really?
I don't know, man. It's just.
See, here's the thing, Skinny. Here's why you're wrong. You know, let's debate about green bean casserole. First of all, are you not a casserole guy?
I like casseroles.
So what is it that you hate about green bean
There's something
casserole?
about like the texture and just like I like green beans, but by themselves. I don't
Really?
know. There's just something off about it.
See, here's the thing. I could take a huge plate of green bean casseroles and just shove that in my mouth because I love
Well,
green bean
and it's
casserole.
pretty much like tater tot casserole, and I hate tater tot casserole too. Like there's just something about it. I
I don't like tater tot casserole is
That's
the thing.
so
That's the
weird.
funny thing is I
That's
hate tater
it's
tot
pretty much the
casserole.
same thing. You just throw tater tots on top of it. I don't know. It's just the texture. There's something about the taste. Like Courtney loves the French style green beans and gets those all the time. But there's something about the French style green beans that I absolutely hate. Like I don't get it. I don't know why. They taste exactly like a normal green bean, but there's just something about it. I don't know.
I didn't know that we had a communist on Two Drunk Guys in a Football podcast, but Skinny Domestic,
Commie, a
a
commie.
big
At least we agree on the
yeah, I think
marshmallows
so. You don't like
and
yeah, oh, the marshmallows and yams are terrible, dude. Anyone that likes that, I think you're a freaky person and you it just ain't right. It's not right at all. Like the marshmallow and potatoes, dude. Who eats that shit?
not me.
That's some old boomer shit, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
But to kick off, pick'ems. Uh, the Green Bay Packers versus the Detroit Lions on Thursday Night Football. Who do you got?
It's not Thursday night. Afternoon.
Or Thursday day. Thursday
I
afternoon.
got the
Sorry.
Lions.
I hit the Lions as well. Then we're going to take Washington versus the Dallas Cowgirls.
This was a tough one. Super hard. Commanders, just such
Is it tough because you want one to win?
a. Yeah. I, I'm taking Dallas.
I'm taking Dallas as well. And then for the Thursday night football one, the San Francisco 49ers versus the Seattle Seahawks.
Give me the Niners.
Give me the Niners, baby. I agree. So Friday, it is the first official Black Friday football game because the NFL will market literally anything they possibly can. So now we're gonna have Black Friday football,
Yep.
I guess. Um, for the first official, this is history, folks. You remember that Miami Dolphins versus the New York Jets.
Give me the Fins.
Give me the Dolphins, but I think it's going to be closer than people think. I think it's going to be an ugly ass game.
Yeah, especially with Tim Boyle, your
I
quarterback.
think Sauce Gardner's gonna. Yeah. I no. I here's the thing. I think the Jets are gonna be better. Tim Boyle has nothing to lose. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about what's his nuts Zach Wilson. He had everything to lose. He's on the spotlight. If he has a good year this year, maybe they don't have Aaron Rodgers. Like he had literally everything to lose this year. I think
Yeah,
so. Uh, the first Sunday night game, the Saints versus the Atlanta Falcons.
I'm with the Saints.
I wanted to go Saints, but they burned me one too many times. I went with the Falcons.
Yeah, I don't trust Desmond Ritter at quarterback. That's the biggest thing.
It's in Atlanta. I'm saying Bijan Robinson over 20 points. Let's put it in the air.
Yeah, I just don't trust Desmond Ritter, so I'm with the Saints. I'll
I
trust
don't either. I
I'll
want to.
trust Jameis or Carr 300 times out of 300 times with Desmond Ritter.
I agree, but we'll see. The next one is the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cincinnati Bengals. I am taking the Steelers, even though I hate myself for taking the Steelers.
Yeah, I. This is the last. I skipped all over every other one and went back to this one because I had to really think. Like I don't want to, but I am also taking the Steelers. Their defense is what's kept them in games.
They're gonna
Yeah,
win.
their defense is what's kept them in games. You know, maybe with Matt Canada leaving, their offense opened up a little bit. And I just Jake Browning, you don't know what you're gonna get. You have no idea.
The Panthers versus I think it's the Titans, but I can't read my
Yeah,
handwriting. Um, I'm gonna take the Panthers over the Titans.
I took Tennessee.
Interesting. So one of us will be right on a
Will
couple of
Levis
them.
has
Um,
has looked pretty decent, and I trust that over Bryce Young still.
eventually I'm gonna be right with Bryce Young.
Oh,
Eventually. Um, the New England Patriots versus the Colts.
I took the Pats.
I took the Pats too, but God, that's a game that you don't really want to watch.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't have anyone on. I don't have any fantasy like ties to any of that game. I'm not gonna watch that
I
fucking game. That sounds like a
I
terrible
have
game to watch.
Minshew in one of my leagues. Um, I have Douglas.
Oh,
But
I know. The next one is the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Houston
the Jags.
Texans.
We've already discussed this. The Jags.
Yeah, I'm taking the Jags too. The next one is the Browns versus Denver. This is what I want to hear. What you're gonna say? What's your hot take right here?
Let Russ cook. I'm riding the Denver Broncos right
I took Denver too. 5-game win streak. I don't care how good that Browns defense is. Uh, whatever the Darian Thompson Robinson, whatever the fuck your name is, he ain't it. He ain't ready for prime time.
now.
He
Well,
ain't ready
the
to beat
Broncos
Russ.
defense.
I'm taking
The
Denver.
Broncos defense is playing so much better too compared to what they were the first couple weeks.
It has the LA Rams versus Arizona Cardinals.
The Rams. Stafford,
The Rams.
Stafford,
I took
Cup,
them as
and
well.
Puka are just gonna shit on them.
The Buffalo Bills versus the Eagles, I guess.
I'm taking the Eagles.
Who do you got?
I'm gonna take. I told you, I'm taking the Eagles every week.
Give me Buffalo.
If there's two,
I'm taking Buffalo. I'm never gonna
if
go on the
there's
Eagles.
two teams that can play absolute dog water football and still be good, it's the Bills and the Eagles. But only one team does it better. All
Yeah,
right, and that's the Eagles.
we'll see. Baltimore Ravens versus the Chargers.
I'm taking the Chargers.
Really, I'm taking the Ravens. This is probably the most we have disagreed on a podcast
Yeah, the reason why
once it comes to
the
pickup
reason
games.
why is the Ravens offense losing Mark Andrews looked horrendous. Joe Burrow getting hurt definitely helped them, but Lamar without Mark Andrews does not look good. And the Chargers are literally right there every week. Like they're the 2022 Minnesota Vikings, but losing. Like one score games, you get it.
Yeah.
I think the Chargers have more than enough to actually win.
So you would say the
Yeah,
2021
yeah. There we
Minnesota
go. There you
Vikings
go.
is what
Yeah,
they are.
2021.
What? And then for Monday Night Football, the Chicago Bears versus the Minnesota
Give me the
Vikings.
Vikings, and you also skipped two games.
What games did I skip?
Tampa and whoever they play.
I don't have Tampa on here.
Tampa Bay. Am I tripping?
Are they on a
I
bye?
might be tripping.
You're gonna have to look because I'm using my. I think Tampa's on a. Well, they might not be on a bye. I don't know. I just looked it up on Pick'ems. I could have messed it up. I am human.
No, they play the Colts.
Who does Tampa
They
play?
play the Colts.
I have the Pats versus the Colts.
Sunday, November 26th.
Are you
Buccaneers
sure?
versus Colts.
Oh, who do the Pats play then?
They play the Giants.
Oh, I don't know how I got that mixed up.
I have the
I don't know what I
so
was doing, but give me the.
I have the Bucks beating the Colts, and I have the Pats beating the Giants.
I need to write that down. Ugh. So I have it on
And
paper.
then
Um,
and then the Chiefs.
I have you.
So I have the Bucks beating the Colts, and I have the Pats beating the or Tampa beating. Fuck, who did I just say? Tampa beating the Colts.
You have the Bucks.
Yes, and then the Pats beating the Giants,
Mm-hmm.
and then
And then who does
the Chiefs
the
play
Chiefs
the
play?
Raiders, and I have the Chiefs beating the Raiders. Damn, Marcus, you had one job.
I have the Chiefs. Dude, it's because I didn't do it the way I normally did, but I don't know how I missed so many. I felt like there's so many pick'ems too. Let's see.
Every team plays this week. I don't think there's a bye, is there? There's two teams on bye. Or no, nobody's on bye. Everybody plays.
There's no. Yeah, I was about to say there's 16 games. It was a lot to count.
Yeah, maybe this is what happens when you don't go
But
to work
I agree.
and you do it on the computer and you're more organized.
Yeah. Well, cause once I do it at work, I just copy the pick'ems and then just check them off. So I can't fuck it up. But I agree. I will take the Chiefs over the Raiders. I will take the Bucks over the Colts, and I will take the Pats over the
The
Giants.
Pats over Giants, I don't want to watch that game. That's the game that I'd rather watch the Colts over the Pats, but I don't want to watch
Yes, I agree.
it. But
Colts over Bucks. I got some skin in that game.
thanks for tuning in to this this Thanksgiving episode of Two Drunk Guys. Follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Insta, Twitter, Facebook,
Twitter,
you name it.
anything that you can think of, we got it.
Spread it to your family over this weekend.
We do have a we have a MySpace, possibly. I don't know.
Not that I know of. We do have a TikTok, and
We do have a TikTok. I don't know if it's run very well, but we do have a TikTok.
I don't know. I don't think we pay the guy enough. But with that, thanks for staying tuned. Y'all have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy your family, friends, and football.
Happy Thanksgiving. We love you all. Like and subscribe.